Hey everybody, this is Maxx Fairo from Dex Signals, and we're here on our platform page with one of our signals that came out at 1700, which is, or 1900, which is 7 o'clock, for 8 o'clock from the Euro USD with a sell, 1356. Now with our signals, we try to, on the sells, keep at least 2 pips up from what we call it at, for margin's sake, because it's a little bit different on the indicative compared to the current price that we give out for open price. We tell you to get it a little bit, at least 2 pips higher on a sell, which I did here, getting it at 1360. The statement came over 1356, got 4 pip difference, great price too, 29.13 on 2 of them. This is an average price because I got one for 30 and one for 28 something, so it averages it out, of course. I'm going to not make you sit here for 46 minutes, but I'm going to let the pair do its thing, let the signal do its thing, and we'll be back here shortly. See you on the other side. All right, so right about halfway through the trade, we start getting into a little bit of positive numbers. And this is pretty good at a level that, 2 signals or 2 contracts come over, and usually about, you start looking at about halfway through, and you can see if you're in the positive. And it's a good run here, but it's not exactly what I want just yet. So I'm going to let this thing go to expiry. There are other things to look at, of course. We have our news section here too. If there's a tremendous amount of news about to release, it can usually affect the market all the way across the board, even if this is just for the JPY and the Euro USD, because people will avoid the JPY and shoot over to the Euro USD to trade, and it might affect it in a positive or negative manner, really depending on the motion and the direction. Okay, so it could mean that this will kind of jump around a little bit in a few minutes. I think that news release was in about 21 minutes. So real close to the top of the hour, right around 8 o'clock. So it'd get really super close. So it could push it out there. This could be one of those ones that it does push it out and push it around. But for the most part, I'm going to kind of keep in with that trend. This is a live account, so we might just, I might do some more research and scalp out. It all really depends. And you can do that anytime you want. You could take the money of what you get. And this wouldn't be very much after fees because you got 2, times 90 in and 90 out, so $1.80 in, $1.80 out, so $3.60. I'd still be in the negative. Okay, but would I lose my entire trade of $60 per each one? And be no. I'd be saving money. So even if you break even or you don't take a complete loss, I still see that as a break even or still a win. I see that as a major win. So we're going to pause and come back towards the end of the deal. Okay, so we're back here. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Because I know that there's some news coming out here very, very shortly, and I'm just a little bit right around, 1-to-1 on my, I have 2 contracts at $29, and I know I got about 26 bucks worth of profit on there. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this one out of there. And boom, just grab it right there, grab my money. And this is acceptable. I was about halfway through the trade. I know that there's news coming. It's a 50-50 process of, is this news because it's so much Euro JPY? Will it affect everything else? And it really, it's a gamble. Okay. It could have dropped down. It could have went up, but you know what? I like to play it a little bit safer, especially on these, if I do have money and there's news coming in. So we'll see how that news comes in here in about 9 minutes to see how it counteracts. If it even does. If it didn't, then you know what? I didn't get the full value of my trade, but I didn't lose it, and I did make some money, right? So, caution to the wind. Let's see what happens here in a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here just immediately, here at 7:51 or 7:50, make sure I get on proper East Coast time here. At 21:30, I'm sorry, 7:50. All this JPY news just released, okay? And you can see it doesn't have like a super profound effect on the other pairs, the Euro USD, in this particular case just yet. And we still got about a minute in on the solution here. We did have 30 or 1360 as the, strike on that trade that we just took out. And we're just going to sit here and wait for a few minutes to see if it had any profound effect. And it doesn't look like it may have. But again, it's your decision because it's your money at that point to decide whether or not you want to take that trade or not. Does it affect it? We'll happen to see here. And if not on this one, it may not affect this type of news, but it may be affected by another one later on. Who knows? But I got my money out. I got $26 richer. I'm not worried about it losing. I did pretty good today. Got like $220 something today. So I'm very happy with that. Let's sit here and wait for the expiry. I won't make you wait around 8 minutes, but I'll pause the video now and come back in really close to the end, a minute before the end. Okay, so we're back here for about the last minute or so. And what I wanted to be able to explain to you too is that here on the 2020 system, when we have a sell, we tell you to go about 2 pips above the open price. The reason being, and again, we make this suggestive. We make it a guideline. We don't make it a determined that it has to be, but we tell you to do so for good common practice, because on a sell, the indicative price on Nadex might be a little bit higher. Okay, so what we try to do is get you to a very strong point to always get a little bit higher on Nadex from this particular price. If we jump over to Nadex now, we got about 58 seconds left. The next highest one on Nadex from the 1356 is the 1360. So this would have been one that you would have really gotten on here for that process. But we could still sit here and wait for just a few seconds here. We got about 43 seconds left. Whether or not it won down here on the 1356, which we wouldn't have gotten in the first place. So we'll just sit here for a few seconds. Got about 30 seconds left. Now again, this is going to turn out to be a loss on the page for the asset. It's going to kind of suck, for it's going to mess up the 93.8% success rate, but it's going to be a win on Nadex. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, now it's the last 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. 7, 8, 6, 5, 4. Now this could be a win because it has to be 1356 or greater to be a loss, and it is a win. It is a win. Holy crap. It was a win because it was at 1356 exactly. Look at that. 13. Actually, it did drop down to the last second. 1354. Beautifully done. Because this is the price that's on MetaTrader. Let's jump over to the Euro USD and look at the MetaTrader. Yep. 1354 it was the price, so it was a win. And even on Nadex it was a win because it closed out at 1356 exactly. All right, well, that's my trade for tonight. Made $28 on the trade on the signal, so I was very happy with that. It didn't affect it as much as I thought it was going to, but hey, listen, that's the way stuff happens. All right, I'm Maxx Fairo, and this is Dex Signals with the 2020 live trades.